Hello, everybody. This is 3SP, and I'm coming to you with another update. President Donald Trump is studying and considering his options for a new approach to Afghanistan and the broader South Asian region. The White House said Friday after the president huddled with his top national security aides at Camp David. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders issued a brief statement saying Trump had been briefed extensively on a new strategy to protect America's interests in the region. She did not specifically mention Afghanistan. The president is studying and considering his options and will make an announcement to the American people, to our allies and partners, and to the world at the appropriate time, she said. The administration has struggled for months to formulate a new approach to the war, but stepping up the fight in a way that advances peace prospects may be even more difficult because the Taliban has been gaining ground and shown no interest in peace negotiations. I really wish we could get out of the Middle East. I really do. Really, I wish we could get out of most of these wars that we're in, because we created these situations starting a long time ago. It was basically all downhill since World War II. We were mainly non-interventionist up until World War II, and then any major conflict that happens in the world, we have to be in it, and then we set up a base. We created these wars in the Middle East where basically all these countries were fighting each other. Iraq was fighting Iran all the time. So by them always fighting, we didn't have to worry about all these other things that are popping up. So when we finally took down Iraq and Iran started gaining ground, there was a vacuum of power, then eventually became ISIS. ISIS would not exist if we did not take down Iraq. So same thing with Afghanistan. We really had no reason to be there, just like we have no reason to be in Iraq. But now that we did it, we can't leave it, because if we do, they'll basically figure out a way to destroy our country. This is now a national security thing, which I believe started out with an issue with oil, where I think the Bush administration and Dick Cheney basically went in to steal oil. When most of the hijackers on 9/11 came from Saudi Arabia, but yet we decided to go into Iraq and topple their government and make up a false story from our top intelligence agencies saying that there are weapons of mass destruction. Then basically after we toppled the government, they admitted that there were no weapons of mass destruction. These are the mind games that they play with the American people to convince us into going into war. Even like, I think North Korea is basically, I think Kim Jong-un is a Western shill. That's my opinion. He grew up in Switzerland, and he went to school. He lived in Switzerland his whole life up until a few years before he took over as the new dictator in North Korea. There's no way that you get all this Western culture, Western education and all of that, and you still go to a third world dictatorship. It just don't make sense to me, and it's crazy. There's no way that he really wants to blow up the United States or have a war with us when his hero is Dennis Rodman. His hero is Dennis Rodman. He loves Western culture, and that's a big sign of it. And Saddam Hussein back in Iraq, he loved the Godfather movies. He was big into that. And they had 7-Elevens, and they even had Playboys. So they were big into Western culture. And Iraq was a secular government. I don't know much about Afghanistan, but I know Iraq at the time was a secular government, just like we know Syria right now is the last Middle Eastern secular Muslim government. And that's the one we're still fighting today and trying to take down. We really need to stop all of this. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know how we can stop. But I do have a lot of trust in Donald Trump, and it hurts my heart dearly to see what the media and the left is doing to Donald Trump, because I think his goal is to bring the West back, to bring America back. So, anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it because I don't have a lot to say about Afghanistan. And this is 3SP signing out.